Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of the Main Street Game Plan Show. My name is Kaitlyn.
And I'm still Jeff.
And we're excited to talk about our Disneyland trip. We are back. We went out to California and back and survived, and we have lots of fun things to tell you about our trip. I guess let's start it off with our predictions from our last video. Because I think we were pretty off.
Yeah, boy, let me tell you. First off, how you doing today, Kaitlyn?
You know, I think I'm doing pretty good. When we're recording this, it's a Friday, so it's the weekend.
We were looking through our predictions, and some of them were spot on, and some of them I just laughed at because they were so far off.
Yeah. It's pretty funny now looking back in what we actually experienced. We're like, wow, that was the exact opposite of what happened.
So I guess we'll start off with a bang, and then we'll kind of go over the trip as a whole. Let's go over the predictions that we had in the last video, episode 3. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. It's basically our pre-Disneyland trip show, and obviously this is our post-Disneyland show. So go ahead and check that out, see what we were expecting. So we're going to react to that. So the first prediction that we had was the food was going to be better. Kaitlyn predicted that the food would be better in Disneyland than in the Walt Disney World area.
Our general consensus was that was correct.
Absolutely. The food was so much better.
I mean, we had several snacks throughout both parks, and I'm still thinking about that cheesy bread, garlic bread thing that we had in Disneyland Park. It was to die for. We had the marinara sauce to go with it. I'm still thinking about that.
I'm already starting the petition to get that into Magic Kingdom.
It would be a added value to have that at Magic Kingdom. They really need more savory snacks.
For those of you that don't know where it is, I would say it's smack dab in the middle of Disneyland, probably close to the circle, and it's called Maurice's Treats.
It was very close to the castle, the little itty bitty castle.
It was very good. Food, just quick service, table service, snack. I mean, all of the food was banging.
We went to the Plaza, was it Plaza Inn?
Plaza Inn, Disneyland.
We had a great lunch. Jeff had fried chicken. I had pot roast. It was amazing. It was affordable. It was like $50 for the two of us. And we sat down outside, right outside of the circle of where the castle is, and that was a great time. We went to Cafe Orleans and did the Fantasmic dining package.
Highly recommend that. That worked out so well.
That was incredible. It was a 3-course meal, appetizer, entree, dessert. The dessert was fantastic. We got this chocolate cake type thing with the filling inside. I'm going to say this, and maybe this is an unpopular opinion. The beignets at not at Magic Kingdom, but at Disney World at Port Orleans are better. They were still great. We did really enjoy them. We also shared a mint julep, and now I'm obsessed with mint juleps. I have 3.
Do you know if there's anything like close to a mint julep in the Walt Disney World area?
You know, I really don't know. You would have to think they would be at Port Orleans, but next time we go, I'll have to check.
We'll have to check. But the second one was a prediction that I made, and it was that one of the 3 mountains, either the Matterhorn, the Space Mountain, or Big Thunder, would be down, and our mountain strategy would be kaput. And when I say it was kaput, boy, they put it out in the misery. They took the dog out back and put it out of its misery. That was such an on-brand prediction. Our strategy got destroyed from the start. We ran towards Space Mountain. It was down. The very first ride we went to, down. Then we moved to the Matterhorn. and that wasn't opening until 8 a.m. So 2 of the 3 already were unavailable by the time that we got there. So what did the first ride end up being? It was the Alice in Wonderland ride.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure was an opening day attraction, which was still cool, but I mean, it wasn't a mountain. It was very far from our original plan. So we went ahead and did that one, and then we did the Mad Tea Party, and I almost threw up. But it was still fun, and then we finally, I think at that point, we were ready to do Matterhorn.
Yeah, and then I think we got back on track with Big Thunder. So we did get close to the mountain challenge, but we didn't end up riding Space Mountain until like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock that day.
It was later that day. So Big Thunder was our first lightning lane, and we gotta say, it's better. It's better than Disney World's. It is a better ride. It was smoother. I thought it was better paced. You had the little goat with the explosive in his mouth. That was great.
That was pretty great.
And like the big thing we noticed there is that a lot of their queues and their rides are all outdoors, which is a little different. And I think a lot of it's just because of the weather. I mean, it doesn't rain as much in California. You're not worried about hurricanes. So that was kind of different, with our memories framing from Disneyland or Disney World, and so going to Disneyland, it is a little different.
True. Let's see. What was the next thing? We talked about a awkward Uber story. Did you have the awkward Uber story prediction, or was that me?
I think that was my prediction. I will say generally, for the most part, our Uber rides were pretty fine. Most of them were uneventful, pretty quiet. We did have one gentleman who took us from Sunset Boulevard to the Dodgers stadium, and he was quite a bit of a talker.
Shout out Uber Steve.
Yeah, way to go, Steve. You're a real one. He was a super nice guy, though. Really just wanted to talk. Jeff had some really great conversations.
Yeah. I think we all knew it started to get a little stale at the end, but that was probably the closest we had to. It wasn't necessarily awkward. It was just the conversation got a little stale at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we were sitting in traffic. That was a really long Uber ride.
It was like an hour.
Yeah, it was long.
Shouldn't have been an hour. It was only like a 20-minute drive tops.
Yeah, but the traffic.
Traffic made it almost an hour.
Yeah.
That was that. And I think our last prediction... Oh, the last prediction was mine.
And it was bad.
It was by far the worst prediction of the day. I predicted that we would get through Disneyland and have... I don't want to say nothing to do, but we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves by like 5 or 6 o'clock. The clock hit midnight, and we left the park, and we still hadn't done, 4 or 5 rides?
Yeah.
And we still didn't get to do a show. We didn't get to do the It's a Small World show that we talked about.
And we grinded for 16 and a half hours and still didn't get through everything. I mean, we were efficient. We used lightning lanes to our advantage. We really didn't do a lot of breaks. I mean, we did occasionally when we wanted a snack or when we had lunch or dinner, but like we were pretty on top of things because we knew we had a lot to accomplish.
I really don't even remember a whole lot of breaks we even did take.
I know.
Like, I guess, I do remember, some quote-unquote breaks were, like, walking around new areas, but I really don't remember an area that we took a break. Unlike California Adventure, we'll get to how we handled that park, but very different vibes in the 2 parks.
Yeah.
I guess with that being said, we will start with the beginning of the trip, and then we'll kind of just go with our thoughts and reactions, what we thought going in, what we ended up experiencing, and we'll kind of just talk through the trip as a whole. So do you want to start us off with the flight on Wednesday morning?
Sure. So we flew out super early out of Pittsburgh, did a layover at Chicago Midway, and then finally made our way over to LAX.
I guess we'll stop right there. What were your thoughts on Midway?
I did not like Midway. I've been to O'Hare, and I know O'Hare is a very busy airport, but there wasn't a lot at Midway. I guess it's the smaller airport. I remember there wasn't like a whole lot of food options. Not that we had a lot of time.
They were big on their popcorn. They had a lot of the popcorn stands there.
Yeah. I just remember being like, this place is really mid. And then we're trying to leave and depart, and we got stuck on the tarmac for like 30 minutes. We got
Ooh,
we
I
got to
forgot about
LAX
that.
late because there was just so much traffic, and I'm like, nope, I do not like Midway. Would probably try to avoid Midway in the future if we could.
Yeah.
But it was very pretty flying over the United States. We flew over the desert.
The Rocky Mountains.
The Rocky Mountains. That was very cool. I got some cool pictures of that.
Boy, that flight was long, though.
Yeah, I think next time we go to Disneyland, we're gonna try to make our flights maybe a little bit more even. Definitely don't want to get a one-way because I was bored on that flight. I know Jeff was too.
Yeah.
We were trying to entertain each other. But, you know, there's only just so much you can do on a Southwest flight where you don't even have a screen. You just have your phone, and so we were doing the best we could. And it was, I will say, when we flew right into LA, we flew right over SoFi Stadium.
Yeah,
you
that was
pointed
really
that out,
cool,
and you were like, oh, there's SoFi. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's one of those surreal moments that, like, you see it all the time on TV, and it just seems like a fantasy because it's so far away, you'll never see it. And, like, actually seeing it in person has a whole different meaning to it.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of LAX. I mean, we're very used to MCO. MCO's busy. LAX was insane. The amount of terminals they had was just a lot for one airport.
Though I will say, you won't think it's insane at first because each terminal seems like its own small airport.
I mean, yeah, but the traffic involved with all of them was insane.
Yeah, like, as a whole, it's an unbelievably, ridiculously large airport, but, like, your one terminal makes it feel like you're flying out of, like, Cincinnati.
Yeah. So we did a little bit of research on how to get out of LAX to get to our hotel. And what we had read online was to get on one of the hotel shuttles and then call an Uber from one of those random hotels near the airport because it would be cheaper. Would you like to talk about that experience, Jeff?
Yeah, I have advice and experiences to tell you. Number one, the hotel shuttle you choose is very vital because the one we chose, they asked if we had reservations, and we basically just lied and said,
which we don't condone lying. We actually did. Well, yeah, we kind of did. We don't recommend. I wouldn't do this. If I were you, I would just call an Uber from LAX.
Yeah, and I'll get to that in a minute. So we basically lied to try and get on the shuttle, and they said, well, we'll have to take you off if there's too many people, which we were fine with.
Yeah, we were, yeah.
But the hotel that we got to, it wasn't far enough away from the airport, and I think the Uber fare ended up being more than it was if we would have just left from the Uber space at the airport. So don't lie, kids.
Yeah,
because it'll make you pay $6 more in the hotel.
Yeah, God said you guys were in the wrong. You did the wrong thing, so we paid a little bit more money. But you know, you live and you learn. But we did eventually get an Uber. We were crunched for time because we got to LA late, and we had a dining reservation at Trader Sam's at 1 p.m. and it was like 12:15 at this point. We were like, we gotta go. So,
I was sweating it.
I was too. I tried to change our reservation. I couldn't. And at this time, so it's like 12:15-ish. Back at home, it's now 3:15-ish. We've only eaten breakfast. We are starved, probably a little hangry. You know, we're tired. And we may even miss our lunch reservation, so we were a little panicked.
Yeah.
Luckily, we made it to the Disneyland Hotel on time, had plenty of time, and made it in time for our reservation.
We did. I guess before we get to Trader Sam's, because I want to talk a lot about Trader Sam's, the hotel staff couldn't have been nicer.
Oh, they were, I mean, your typical Disney hospitality. With it being a DVC resort, I think that helped with it. But it was the Disneyland Hotel was beautiful, and highly recommend renting DVC points with the DVC rental store. Not sponsored, but we're just huge fans. This was our first time using them. Also first time renting points. I've done a lot of research. I've looked at different vendors, and I really like the DVC store because you can make payments on your trip instead of having to pay everything up front. I think a lot of people, when they hear about these rental contracts, or it is a contract because you do sign a contract, but it's not like a DVC contract. They get a little skeptical and they're like, is this legitimate? Is this a scam? It was very legitimate. It was very professional. We did sign a contract to lock in, our reservation. As soon as it happened, we got the link to link it to the Disneyland app. Highly, highly recommend. It was great.
You can still cancel it as well, too. Like, you can cancel it, I think 100 days out. You can still cancel it for a full refund. So, like, yeah, you're signing a contract, but you can change it for however many times you want. Now, I think, like, 25 days out, you only get, like, 25% of the money back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a lot of places. That's not just Disney.
Yeah, and we definitely plan to use them again. We actually are using them again in October. We rented some points at Old Key West. And we looked into changing that reservation because my work situation changed and we had to switch our dates around a little bit. So, but we were so close to the date of the trip where we couldn't rebook it or cancel without losing some of our deposit. We didn't want to do that, so we just said we'll make it work.
Let's see. But yeah, I mean, hotel staff was just incredible. Can't say enough about the Disneyland Hotel and their staff. And I'm sure the Grand Californian and Pixar is also great, but obviously we can only speak to the one hotel.
Yeah.
But that leads us to Trader Sam's, where we went up, we brought our luggage because our room wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
That place was incredible. I don't care what the reviews say. The vibes, immaculate. The food was some of the best I've had in weeks because of the diet that we've been on.
Jeff, what did you get to eat?
I got the poo-poo platter.
Who ordered the poo-poo platter?
Yeah,
it was this guy.
It was like shrimp tempura green beans. I think it was like orange glazed chicken wings. I think there was some dumplings on the plate. And I think it was like an aioli that came with it. And then I ordered a mosquito mojito for the table. For the table. And it was just, I mean, it was all exquisite. What did you end up getting?
I got like the Hawaiian platter, I think is what I called it. It had,
yeah, that's right.
Teriyaki chicken, rice.
Bok choy, I think, was on there.
Yeah, I'm not a bok choy fan, so he ate that. I think it had some veggies on there too, but it was really good.
What did you get to drink?
Some type of like strawberry drink. I think it was kind of like a pina colada, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't remember. It was like a strawberry. I want to say it was like some strawberry cream thing. Didn't have cream in it, but it looked like it was like a mix of
and it was excellent. And it was fun, and it's like this in Disney World too, but when you order certain drinks, sometimes it has an effect in the restaurant. So the staff would be really interactive, and it was a really great way to start off our trip.
Yeah, that was the day that we found out the Krakatawa apparently was very popular at Trader Sam's. We heard that, I swear, like 3 times.
Yeah.
Where's the Trader Sam's located in Disney World?
What do you think? Tropical.
Well, I was thinking Polynesian.
That would be correct.
That's crazy. And have we ever even gone past it?
No, but maybe we'll go during our bar crawl.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do they have the poo-poo platter there? I wouldn't mind getting another poo-poo platter because that was amazing.
Yeah, we'll have to look.
But I think after that what did we do? It's tough. I think our room was finally ready.
Yeah, so we went up to our room to check it out, and we stayed in a duo studio, which was tiny, but it wasn't as small as you would think it was.
They had all the space where you needed it.
Yeah,
it was all in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, it was just a pull down Murphy bed that also doubled as a couch. We really didn't use the couch. We just had the bed down. But it had everything we needed, and it had the luxury bathrobes. It made us truly feel deluxe and feel like DVC.
And for a family like us who were in the parks from
Mhm.
morning till night, we don't need a big room because we're never in the room.
No, that's why I think like the studios are perfect for us because it's only the two of us, and also we're not really in the room that often because we take full advantage of park.
We thought we got an upgrade because we had a balcony on ours. Now we can't confirm, but Kaitlyn has a hunch that we got an upgrade.
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting us to get a balcony. And maybe it's one of those things where you might get one or you might not. It just if you're lucky. I don't necessarily think if it was a higher tier room, but it wasn't expected, so that was an added bonus. It wasn't like a fantastic view or anything. It was actually like the view of an employee building. So nothing really to look at, but it was still nice to, have an outdoor space. Normally we don't when we go.
Yeah, beautiful sunrises too.
Yeah, it was really
Because
pretty.
we would wake up at like 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So after that, we traveled to downtown Disney, and boy, that was an experience within itself. Like the layout, the shops that they had there, the way it was. I guess this also goes in the layout. The way it was configured between the parks was just very different from Disney Springs.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't think about how little of an area that Disneyland is. I mean, you've heard about it, but literally all the hotels are together. The parks are like one's here and one's here, and to get you know, from our hotel to Disneyland Hotel, you have to go through downtown Disney to get to the parks, and that's very smart.
That was an experience, and let me tell you, I honestly loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I loved being able to see all the shops and like go to and from. Like if you're like coming from the parks, you get to shop or eat. Like if you ever have like a late night hankering for food, you can grab something to eat. Or I think we went through World of Disney. They had that there. It was right next to the parks. I just thought it was such an interesting layout because obviously Disney Springs is its own entity, and it's just so weird going through like a downtown Disney, quote unquote Disney Springs, and then all of a sudden you're right at one of the parks.
I will say, I mean, obviously it's a lot smaller than Disney Springs. Disney Springs is huge. I mean, I would say like quadruple the size of downtown Disney, but it looked like they were expanding. They were adding some new stuff, so that's great.
Highlights of Disney Springs, beignets.
Yes, we had more beignets.
Beignets Express, I think, was the name.
Yeah, they were really good. They had like seasonal flavors. I think we got like a blueberry one.
Blueberry, I think we got strawberry. It was like glazed beignets.
Yeah.
You can get original, but we got the glazed,
Yeah.
and they were just extraordinary.
Yeah, they were really great. They're different than, what we got in the park, so we wanted to, try the glazed ones and see how they were, and we really liked them.
Shops were good. Like, there weren't many shops, but they were pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, the Star Wars Trading Outpost was cool. World of Disney obviously was cool. Not as good as Disney Springs, but it was still pretty good. That soap place, man, they really tried hard to get us to buy stuff. My hands were super soft after that.
Yeah. I mean, their World of Disney store, to me it felt smaller. It probably was, just because it's not as big, but like, it's like, it was literally like the same thing. But if it's a smaller building, it was very chaotic there. It's always chaotic in World of Disney, either wherever you are, but, and we can get to this, but like, I remember their merch selection is not as widely available as it was at Disney World.
Yeah.
There was a Spirit jersey I was looking for, and I should have just bought it while we were there, but I didn't because I was trying to wait to see what else we had. I don't know, like I just felt like there weren't as many options and also there weren't as many sizes because it ended up I didn't get it because they didn't have my size.
Yeah.
And that was kind of disappointing.
I think that was pretty much it for Disney Springs. Do you remember doing anything else before we went back to the hotel and get ready for our dinner?
Well, we went over to the other hotels too, just to see.
That's right.
Yeah.
I knew we had something to fill that space. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Californian is beautiful. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. It was more the California wilderness and less of the grand, like, grand staircase ballroom of the Grand Floridian.
It's very much Wilderness Lodge coded.
Yes.
Like you walk in the lobby, you're like, oh, this is the Wilderness Lodge, but it's not. I think the name just tripped you up. Hearing Grand California, you expected Grand Floridian in California, and it's not those vibes at all. One thing I pointed out to Jeff, you can see like Grand Cal when you're walking through Disney or downtown Disney. It's like built like right on it, and there's some rooms there have balconies overlooking downtown Disney, so that's really cool.
Yeah, the Grand Californian, the views. I mean, when we were at Disney's California Adventure, we saw there was some balconies overlooking that park too.
Yeah, they have an entrance to DCA right from Grand Cal, and I think we've decided next time we go, we're going to stay at Grand Cal.
So, Pixar Place was nice. It just was probably a pretty clear third compared to the other two.
It's not DVC, and it was the cheapest of the three, and you could tell.
Not by much though.
Yeah, I mean,
it was still expensive.
It was. It was very white, and I think I understand as they were trying to make like a blank canvas and showcase like all the animation and the Imagineering, things like that. But at the same time, I didn't like it because I think of like Art of Animation, and when I think of Art of Animation, I think blue. I don't think of white. And I kind of just wish they incorporated like more color.
Art of Animation also goes a lot harder than the Pixar Place Hotel did, which is wild to think about being a value resort.
Yeah. There's also just like one pool at the Pixar Place. So, I mean, you think about it, it's probably a much smaller hotel. But like we had, I think, 2 pools, and I think there's multiple pools at Grand Cal as well.
We had, I think, 2 pools, 2 hot tubs, and then we had the monorail slides.
Yeah. One thing that we got wrong when we went there, Jeff thought that there was a monorail station at the Disneyland Hotel, and that was incorrect. It was actually essentially like in downtown Disney.
Yeah, and it was placed very, very weirdly. Like, it was in downtown Disney, but it wasn't really close to the hotel. You still had to walk a good 7 or 8 minutes from the hotel just to get there.
I mean, a lot closer than it would be at Disney World. Comparable to the Skyliner, I would say. Maybe a little farther from the Skyliner.
Just very, very interestingly placed.
Yeah. It would have been really cool if they could have modeled it like the Contemporary and had it somehow connected to the hotel, but none of the hotels were like that. So missed opportunity.
It was a missed opportunity. But I think that leads us into our dinner of the night. And my favorite dinner of maybe all of Disney, Goofy's Kitchen.
Yes. A lot similar to Chef Mickey's. But think of a more California flair. And also smaller. Not as many food choices, but still the same kind of vibe where you're getting, think comfort food type, favorite type foods.
Yeah, the whole vibe, and keep in mind while we're doing this, we're basically eating at like 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Maybe even later than that. It was like 10:30 Eastern time. It had a lot of the same type of food that Chef Mickey's had, but it seemed more elegant. Like it was to me, it was less comfort food and more wild food.
Like sophisticated food. I remember they had like a Syrian rice, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever had Syrian rice before, and it was good.
They had a curry soup. They had their own homemade salsas. Like we said, like it had a California like sophisticated flair to it, but it had the vibe of Chef Mickey's to where you could just get anything you wanted. I mean, the barbecue chicken extraordinary. The salmon was to die for. The barbecue ribs was amazing. Even their cheese pizza was great. Like just whether it was as simple as cheese pizza or as crazy as like some type of barbecue type pork, it was just amazing. Sirloin was good. I mean, once again, absolute cinema.
Yeah. The desserts, That was incredible.
The brownie.
They had the salted caramel brownie was so good. They had dessert pizzas. I mean, obviously, pizza is what they were known for. I thought their pizzas were okay. Like, I just had like a cheese pizza, and I thought it was okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
What was it? The s'mores pizza, that was pretty unique. I didn't really care for the PB&J pizza.
Let me say this: if you are a peanut butter fan, which I am, you'll really like the pizza.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn was not really the biggest fan because she's not a big peanut butter girly.
I'm not.
I will say though, the s'mores pizza was better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think it had Nutella, marshmallows, I think graham cracker like dustings.
Mm-hmm.
It might have had one other thing, but it was really good.
Yeah. You want to talk about the characters?
Yeah. So Chef Mickey's, when you go into the contemporary Chef Mickey's, they usually have a separate person. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's a separate waiter or maybe it's a manager. They make sure you've met all the characters.
Mm.
Like, they make sure, like, hey, did you meet all of our characters? If not, we're going to bring them over right now.
Yeah.
They did not seem to really care about that aspect.
No.
They had 5 characters. We met Goofy in the very beginning. We had a photo shoot with him in the very beginning. And then there were 4 other characters. It was Chip and Dale, and then Minnie and Pluto. Mm. We never met Pluto. We met Minnie.
Oh, did we?
Yes, we met Minnie, but remember, it was one of those, like...
Oh, she was like, hey, bye.
We didn't even get a picture with her.
That's
it was like
it
was like a, hey, how you doing? And then she waved by, and we were like, oh, okay, goodbye. And then Pluto, he never even came to our table.
Yeah. That was very different. I mean, we were expecting them to come to our table and be like, oh, did you meet all the characters? And they never did. I will say, they were the one restaurant that really acknowledged our anniversary because we were wearing anniversary and first time visit pins. They brought us a special dessert and also special celebration buttons, and that was really appreciated.
And they didn't have to because there were like 30 desserts on that island.
Yeah. But it was really nice, and it made us, feel appreciated.
With that being said, that was pretty much the end of our night because we stuffed ourselves to an oblivion, and we had to get up super early the next morning.
Well, didn't we go to the pool that night?
We did, and I'm glad you mentioned that because there was something very good and something very not good about the pools there.
So this is the first deluxe resort that we've stayed at together. So we got a hot tub, and that was very nice. And the pools were very nice too.
Just extraordinary. And I'm sure we weren't able to get to the monorail slides because we were just too late. And every single time we got to the hotel was either too early before they opened or too late. But there was one thing about the pool and the hot tub that we didn't understand. There were unbelievable amounts of gnats and flies.
I mean, you had to just keep pushing
thousands
them
of
away.
them.
That was really bad.
All in the pool. They weren't in the air. We didn't notice one single bug in the air, but in the pool there were thousands.
It was pretty gross.
And it kind of, I don't want to say ruined the experience, but when you realize that they were there...
Yeah.
Boy.
And I felt like they were sticking to your body, if you were dip down in the water and then get out, and I'm like, I just need a shower. I just need to get out.
Yeah, that kind of turned it. But the hot tub was so nice that it did make you forget about them for a little bit.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was a beautiful hot tub, and the temperature was just mint.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess the last thing for the first night, man, we've gone through. It's been a half an hour through this show, and we've only gone through the first night.
I know.
But I'm not even done because the shower was amazing. It was one of those overhead showers, and that was just to die for. I mean...
I want one. Can you get me one?
I would love to. I just don't have the money. Hey, Mears / DVC rental store / anyone else, please sponsor us.
So you can get me one of those waterfall shower heads.
Please. Anyway, then we finally hit the rest of the night.
Yes.
And we woke up, I don't know, 6:20 the next morning?
So it was really 9:20. So we were pretty rested. And we were going to need that because we were in the park for 16 and a half hours.
Our next adventure brings us into the front gate and the scanning process for Disneyland.
Listen, Disney World knows how to do it. With the security bag checks, I mean, they have it down to a science at Disney World where you just walk through and they're like, you're good. But not in California. I had to, we had to take our pens off. They had to open everything in my bag and take it all out and then put it back in. And like, I really do appreciate that thoroughness and taking security seriously. But I am like, I know Disney World does it really good and really efficiently, and maybe they should take some notes.
And that's not even it. Like, that's like the initial security process. Then you get into the front gate. You cannot scan your Magic Band if you're there for the first time.
Yeah.
You have to scan your barcode off of your app, or at least your physical tickets, which we didn't have physical tickets, but you had to scan the barcode off of your app and then take a picture for facial recognition to get into the park. Afterwards, then you can use a Magic Band to get into a park.
Which we learned quickly, no one uses Magic Bands there.
And I don't blame them. They're worthless at Disneyland.
They really don't make any sense. Like on all the Magic Band scanners, when you go on a ride, they would have, like the typical like circle scanner thing. And then they would have a slot where it was a barcode scanner where you could just put your phone under. And we don't have that in Florida. And so it was kind of weird at first to get used to that. I mean, we were just scanning Magic Bands, but like there was just not a whole lot of Magic Band capability in the park.
Now, and it's hilarious because the Lightning Lane lines at Disney World, like, they're normally non-existent. Mm-hmm. Like, when you get in, the lines to get into the Lightning Lane lines were just backed up at every ride because people were trying to use their barcodes instead of having Magic Bands. We got in immediately, lickety-split, and there's other people that are just having horrible times trying to get in because they have a barcode and not their Magic Band.
It's just not efficient. Like, Disneyland, take some notes from Disney World. They know how to do it down to a science, and it works.
I guess after that, we'll get into the bulk of our day at Disneyland. We kind of explained the beginning of our trip did not go the way we thought. We didn't get Space Mountain or the Matterhorn. We had to flip to Mad Tea Party and Alice in Wonderland. But after that, the day went pretty smooth. Lightning Lanes went pretty smooth. Let's talk about the rides that we liked better at Disneyland more than Magic Kingdom.
Well, we talked about Big Thunder. You liked Rise better.
I did.
Because the cannons move.
And don't get me wrong, I'm splitting hairs. I mean, it was pretty much the same ride, but if it's the fact that it's the same ride, you look at the little things, and the cannons moved at Walt Disney or Disneyland, so it kind of wins for now.
What else did we like better?
It's a Small World was better.
Space Mountain, except the queue. The queue was not good.
Space Mountain queue sucked, but the ride was better. Big Thunder, obviously, we already mentioned. Indiana Jones.
Obviously, we don't have that yet.
The comparable is Dinosaur. It was better than Dinosaur, but, I mean, they put more thought in it, and it's Indiana Jones. I mean, you didn't have to do a whole lot. And the Dinosaur ride technology is the exact same, and I love that ride technology.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that either are it's not that Dinosaur is bad. It's just that Indiana Jones is just better.
Yeah.
The
Small World, that was the original. And you could, like, not everything's in the water. It's the boat is in the water and everything else is out of the water, and that's different from Disney World.
We passed where that guy got arrested at Small World. That was wild.
That was iconic. I was waiting for that moment, and I very much enjoyed it. And I liked the fact that a Small World, the outdoor queue, it's all outdoors. It's beautiful. I love that.
Let me tell you. Let me go into a little rabbit hole here. It's a Small World. I get it. It's a World's Fair ride. It is a big deal at Disneyland. Like Disney World, it is a ride in a building, and congratulations, there it is. In Disneyland, you basically have a whole small area. I'm talking flags and towers
There's
and
a pavilion, like an entertainment
and
pavilion.
stores.
Yeah.
Like, you have your own little land devoted
Yeah.
to It's a Small World. Not only that, the theming is better. They have a small little show to tell you what time it is. They have a projection mapping show later on that night.
Which unfortunately we didn't get to.
They hype up It's a Small World, I would say 10 times more than they do at Walt Disney World. Like, it's an attraction. It's an experience more than just a ride like it is at Magic Kingdom. So that's one of the reasons why we liked it more.
Rides we liked less. So we liked the Disney World version better.
And both of these rides we still really liked.
Yeah.
They just weren't, we didn't like them as much. First one was Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Ride seemed a lot shorter.
Yeah, and I didn't like the single person vehicles, whereas in Florida it's 2 per. I didn't like it, and it was kind of, it moved too fast, and we would just bump into the people in front of us, and the people behind us would bump in. It was kind of rough.
It had a lot of the same things, but like I said, it seemed a lot quicker, and the experience just didn't seem the same. It feels like we rushed through it. Haunted Mansion was the other one, and once again, queue just fantastic. Outside perimeter, fantastic. Fantastic. Inside queues, fantastic. But it had the same problems. It was shorter. I feel like it moved quicker. You thought it was scarier, which it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But once again, I feel like I didn't get the full experience like I did at Disney World.
Yeah.
That being said, it's still a great ride. Highly recommend that ride. I will say the rides at Disneyland were better. Disney World as a park was better because Disney World as a park had better street flow. There were a lot of crowded.
Well, they learned.
A lot of bottlenecks at Disneyland.
Yeah.
But rides at Disneyland were better.
Yeah.
And more thoughtful. Did you have any other thoughts about Disneyland? Maybe the food. I guess we can go into Cafe Orleans. We talked about Plaza Inn, but we didn't talk about Cafe Orleans, our table service. Do you want to start that off?
Yeah, I wanted to book a dining package just because I wanted to ensure we got a nice viewing spot for Fantasmic. And so it was pretty affordable for a sit-down dinner. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was under $200 for a nice sit-down dinner for 2 people with also a reserved nice viewing area for a nighttime show. And it was a 3-course meal. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. I had the gumbo, which was just to die for. The battered and fried Monte Cristo sandwich. It's just, once again, just amazing. And then for dessert, the best chocolate cake I think I've ever had.
Yeah. And I had the same cake too. I will say I think I like Steakhouse 71's cake a little bit better, but it was still excellent.
Man, I gotta disagree with that. That cake was just to die for. It had like a raspberry filling.
It did. That was really good.
And don't get me wrong, that layer chocolate cake at Steakhouse 71 is just amazing. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I might get that chocolate cake back in December. I might even bring it home to you.
Yeah, I want some.
Amazing. But that was pretty much it for Cafe Orleans. After that, Pirates of the Caribbean I liked a whole lot better in Disneyland. That was iconic.
It was a longer ride. They had more scenes. I will say it didn't smell as iconic as Florida.
That might have been my favorite ride.
Okay.
That might have been, between Indiana Jones, Big Thunder, and Pirates. Pirates might have been my favorite.
My favorite was Indiana Jones. I thought that one was, we don't really have something to compare it to now, except really Dinosaur, but it's different. The pre-show was really cool. The only thing wrong with Indiana Jones is there was a pacing issue, and I think they were just having some technical difficulties with probably the car that was in front of us. because I remember in one scene, we were just waiting for the Indy animatronic to go, and he was just like hanging out there for a while, and then he finally went. I'm like, yeah, that's a little off, because it was the scene where like the boulder is rolling down to hit us, and I was like, shouldn't something be happening right now? But it was still great.
I didn't even notice it. I was so immersed. I literally didn't even notice that it was like actually off.
Yeah.
I guess we'll move into the nighttime spectacular portion of the night. And boy, let me tell you, that is completely different from Magic Kingdom.
It really is. I mean, they do it on the rivers of America. The characters are on the Mark Twain riverboat.
Yeah.
Or the Liberty Bell or whatever. I think it was.
It's the Mark Twain riverboat.
Yeah. They were on that, and they also had a pirate ship, and that was cool. I gotta say, I like Fantasmic better at Disneyland. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I said what I said.
The way they do Nighttime Spectacular is pretty amazing. Like, you go, I think at 9 something, you do Fantasmic, and then right afterwards they shut off the lights and you go immediately into the fireworks show. Mm-hmm. And they still have stuff going on Tom Sawyer Island or whatever it's called. And, like, they have fountains from Fantasmic going at the same time, like, in sync with the fireworks show. And then, like, that goes into, if you want to go to Disney's California Adventure, it goes into World of Color, which has its show at 10:15. Like, you can go and do every Nighttime Spectacular they have there all in one night.
Yeah, you really could. Which
is wild. We'll get more into World of Color at the DCA day. But that was pretty much it for that that night. Do you have anything else from the Disneyland day?
No. It was a really fun day. We did a lot. I guess one thing we didn't mention was the Mickey's Toontown area. I loved that just because I played the online Toontown game as a child. And so it was really sentimental for me to be able to go there, since we don't have something like that anymore in Orlando. But I really enjoyed that, and that's where Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is, and so that was really cool. And they also had the Roger Rabbit ride.
And I don't want to forget this. If you have a chance, go check out the Paint the Night Parade.
Oh, that was really cool.
On Main Street. Yeah. That was one of my favorite parades ever. It was incredible, the lights that came out of that.
I had never seen a nighttime parade before, and I really enjoyed that. Although I was struggling to stay awake because at our time it was like 2 a.m. when we watched it, but I got some really good pictures of that, and I'm glad we watched it.
It was weird like riding rides at like 11:30 p.m. We were riding Autopia, and it's like you're looking at your watch, and it's like 11:15, 11:20, and then we roll into Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at like 11:40.
We gotta talk about that. So that was the last ride of the night. We were like, let's ride Mr. Toad's, and I didn't know anything about this ride, and the whole premise of this, sorry for spoilers, but skip ahead if you don't want to, is that he is a little mischievous, he gets arrested, and then he gets killed, and then he goes to hell, and that's the ride. And I'm like, what did we just do?
Yeah, the ride just ends.
And that's how we ended Disneyland.
Yeah, that was wild. We left right before park closed. We got on the monorail as the last ride of the night, and it was probably 11:50 or 11:49 by the time we got out of there. Mm-hmm. And we left the park by about 11:54, I would say. But that was pretty much it. We went right to bed.
Yeah, we were tired.
We were
jet lagged. At least I was. So we needed to get some rest.
The next day, there's not too many Disney things. It was our LA day. Mm-hmm. We went to a Dodgers game. We went on Sunset Boulevard. We took a tour.
Yeah. Went to In-N-Out.
In-N-Out Burger. It was our first In-N-Out. It was very good. Yeah. I enjoyed the secret sauce and all that.
Yeah, it was great.
But obviously we're here for Disney, so that was a great time. But we'll talk more. We'll focus on the Disney things. We went to Tangaroa Terrace that morning.
Yes. and I got the macadamia nut pancakes, and they were excellent.
And I should have gotten the Hawaiian macadamia nut pancakes.
Yes.
I was scared to get them because they had coconut on them.
Yes, and you are not a coconut guy.
I am
not.
not. But do not, coconut haters, do not let that fool you. You could barely taste the coconut at all. And that was so much better. Now, don't get me wrong. I think what I had like a Hawaiian sandwich. It was pretty good too.
Yeah.
It was like a pork Hawaiian sandwich. It was pretty good. But my goodness, those Hawaiian pancakes were to die for.
They were very, very good. I was glad I got them.
Other than that, the LA day took around most of our time. We left Tangaroa Terrace. What did we do? Did we do anything, or did we just grab the Uber right after?
We got some coffee in the coffee shop, and then we left.
That's right. So then we went and we did our LA day. We went to In-N-Out and Sunset Boulevard. We did our tour, and that took most of the afternoon. We went to the Dodger game, and that took most of our evening. And by the time we got back, we didn't have time for much of anything. Did we do anything when we got back to the hotel that night?
No, I think we went straight to bed.
That's what I thought. Oh, we were going to go to downtown Disney to get some merch, but you were too tired.
I was tired.
So that pretty much was it. So that leads us into day 3. That was our Disney's California Adventure Day. The process of getting in to Downtown Disney and DCA was a lot easier because we could use our magic bands instead. Yep. That day as a whole seemed a lot more chill to me.
It did. I will say it reminds me kind of a conglomerate of Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom put together.
Which is funny because it basically took if you want the experience of all 4 Disney World parks, you get them in both Disneyland parks, but it's a 3-in-1 for DCA.
Yeah. And it reminds me a lot of the vibes of Epcot, and Epcot's my favorite park. I would say overall in all 6 parks, that was my second favorite park.
It was a very good park. It had a lot of fun things, a lot of fun land. Avengers Campus is as advertised. Cars Land as advertised. Cool. Even Hollywoodland had the animation experience, had some really cool stuff there. Pixar Pier was pretty awesome. Even with Incredicoaster being down, it was still awesome. I'll tell you, you could spend the entire day in Adventures Campus.
Yeah. I did Mission Breakout by myself, which was a little odd because Jeff does not like drops. I absolutely loved it. Wish I could have gone on it again. It was a total vibe and very different from Tower of Terror. They did the re-theme of that very well.
Characters are on brand at Avengers Campus. I mean, from Doctor Strange to even Miss Marvel, like everyone was just absolutely on brand. Food, we went to Pim's Test Kitchen for lunch. That was amazing. We both got the not so little chicken sandwich. Yes. It's an oversized chicken on a little bun. That was amazing. We got these 2 drinks that I didn't even know were alcoholic at the time, but they were still amazing.
They were really good. They had boba pearls in them. Love that.
While Kaitlyn was on Mission Breakout, I got a shawarma wrap from the Shawarma Palace stand cart. It was really good. Super filling for those of you that want something filling, and I think it was like $7. Yeah. So not too bad. Cars Land, once again, as advertised, literally like the entire thing. The Cars light up is just amazing. The colors and lights at 7 p.m. were just beautiful.
That was a really special moment seeing that because they played the song that, the Life Could Be a Dream song from the movie. And you truly feel like you're there. And it was just like there were kids dancing around with cast members. They're blowing bubbles. It just, like, that is your classic happy Disney moment. Like, that, it just warms my heart when I sit there thinking about it. I'm so glad I got that on video. And maybe I'll put that at the end of the video.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Pixar Pier was a vibe. A lot of classic rides there. Lights were just beautiful. We went to dinner in, I don't know if you would you classify where we ate at Wine and Country Trattoria, but would you classify that in Pixar Pier? I don't think it was in
No.
Pixar Pier.
No, it was kind of like in a weird transition
It's
space.
like No Man's Land. It was right next
Yeah.
to the Little Mermaid ride.
Yeah, and I will say Wine Country Trattoria. I mean, I like Olive Garden. Comparable, I guess, to I mean, it's Italian food. Italian food's gonna be Italian food. I wish they would have served us like a bread with our meal that wasn't like an upcharge or an appetizer. We should have gotten an appetizer. We didn't, but we should have. And the wine was really good. We both got a sangria, and it was great.
And I will admit, we're spoiled, and this isn't necessarily a prerequisite, but like when we went for our honeymoon at Walt Disney World, like I swear, they gave us like a free dessert to celebrate our anniversary, like at every restaurant, or a free drink. Like California Grill, we got a free dessert and a free drink.
Yeah.
Jungle Navigation Canteen, we got a free dessert. Chef Mickey's, I want to say we got free dessert. And it's tough to remember where else we went, but we got a lot of like fun little knack stuff. And we thought we would get that at Wine and Country Trattoria, and we didn't. And we were a little bummed by that. Like I said, it's not a prerequisite. Like, it didn't really change what we thought of the restaurant. It was still a pretty good restaurant. My chicken parm was really good.
Yeah, I think I got the same thing, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'd go back to.
I would.
Yeah.
I would, yeah. I'd go back. But that kind of leads us into, I guess before we lead into the nighttime spectacular, food once again. I cannot stress this enough. The snacks.
Good.
We had a sourdough bread from San Francisco, the bread cart.
It was shaped like Baymax. I mean, I didn't want to eat it because it was so cute.
Oh, it was very
It
good.
was so good.
Just the snacks, the Num Num, the Jack Jack Num Num cookie. It's just amazing.
Warm.
I cannot express how amazing the snacks were.
Yeah.
Oh,
one thing I didn't mention when we were talking about Disneyland Park, I got the Celebration churro, and it had ube sugar on it, and I didn't know what that was. And I was like, oh yeah, it's just purple. It was not good. What is it? How would you describe the ube sugar? It's not sweet.
It almost felt like a savory churro.
Yeah. The churro's worth the hype at Disneyland, but the one with the ube sugar on it was not. It was just not a taste that I'd ever had before, and I really didn't care for it.
With that being said, the Celebration waffles were to die for.
They were stuffed with like a strawberry sauce, and those were fantastic. Loved those.
Amazing.
Yes.
But our adventure brings us to the end of the night and the nighttime spectacular, which at DCA is World of Color.
Mm-hmm.
The show itself was fantastic.
Fantastic.
That kills me every time I do that. It was fantastic. I have no notes. It was great. What wasn't great was we stood for so long. The cast members really want people to stand there.
Yeah.
And it hurts your legs a lot because you're standing for almost an hour.
Yeah, we did a virtual queue to get into a like a closer viewing area, and maybe that was our mistake. I think if we did it again, we would do a dessert party because they had chairs, and we did not. And when we went to Disneyland and did the Fantasmic show, everyone sat. So it was kind of my anticipation that we were going to sit again for this show, but this time they were like, no, you cannot sit. Which was really odd. And by the time it was done, I felt like my legs were going to fall off.
I know. It was quite the experience, but still an amazing experience nonetheless.
One thing I wanted to say is I've really never seen a show like World of Color ever, where they're using water effects for the show and, using that mapping system to, show images and things like that.
Think of Fantasmic on like triple steroids.
Yes,
Like Fantasmic uses that water technology, but there's other things. I mean, this relies on only water mapping. That is the only thing it relies on is water and projection mapping. That's it.
And I really enjoyed because there's really no Muppets in anything
Yeah.
in that park, but the Muppets did the pre-show. So don't jump in the bay.
Do not jump in the bay.
That's what they said, and I thought it was really cute.
But that pretty much brings us to the end of that night. We left the park around 10:15. We did some shopping afterwards. We went through World of Disney to do some shopping because we put it off by one day because Kaitlyn was tired the day before. That was pandemonium.
Yeah.
But
overwhelming.
we got our t-shirts that we have on now.
Yep.
Kaitlyn was not able to get her Spirit jersey, and we had to use the mobile checkout line just because, I mean, when I say pandemonium, people were just everywhere.
Yeah.
Which, it explains it because everyone's getting out of the park, so as they're going through downtown Disney on the way back, they all say, hey, let's go shop before we go to bed.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it for that last night. Do you have anything else for the DCA night that you wanted to add?
We were able to get basically everything done. It was a lot more relaxed. I think we talked about that, but we got through all of the lightning lanes. I think there were maybe like 2 flat rides we didn't do, but we weren't sweating them.
And we could have done them too.
Yeah.
We had time.
We could have done them. We were just like, I mean, a lot of the carnival flat rides, they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
So we didn't feel like we had to ride them. But overall, I mean, I really enjoyed that park.
I mean, it is a perfect blend of you have a lot to do, but also you have time to like sit and relax.
Yeah.
Like you can do both.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much the end of that night. And unfortunately, that was pretty much the end of our trip because the next morning we got up pretty early. We didn't have time to eat at any Disney place, and we got the Uber at like 7:30, and we were already at LAX and on the plane.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I'll say for the rest of the trip that we mentioned in the previous video, we talked about whether we would get food on the plane. We did get extra snacks.
Yes.
On both of the flights on the way back. We got extra pretzel snacks and we got some Oreos, including the pretzel snacks, on the way back. So we did get an extra set of snacks that we wouldn't have gotten on the trip to Disney World. But that's pretty much of note because we left the Disneyland Hotel at 7:30 and we already caught the flight at 10 a.m. and we were already back in Pittsburgh at 7 p.m. because of the time change.
Yeah, I mean, we survived on pretzels that day. We were starved by the time we finally made it because our layover was literally like 10 minutes. And it was the same plane that they made us get off for 5 minutes and get back on.
Is there anything you would do, this is kind of a final thoughts thing, is there anything that you would do differently in either of the 2 parks or just the trip in general?
We needed one more day.
We did.
I would have added one more day, like a rest day type thing where we really could have taken full advantage of the pool. Had another dinner. We could have gone over to the to Grand Cow and had a dinner there. So definitely when we go back again in a couple years after they build the new Avatar Land and build the Cocoa Boat Ride and build the new Stuff and Adventures campus, we can take full advantage of that.
I will say, we talked about adding another day. Goofy's Kitchen for breakfast.
Yes.
Though that's not something I would necessarily do differently because I would have done Goofy's Kitchen dinner, but this kind of goes with we would have added another day. On that day, we would have done Goofy's Kitchen breakfast.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, Disneyland, I thought we did almost perfectly. In DCA, I thought we did almost perfectly. Like, I don't think we really had many problems, and there's not a whole lot of things I would have done differently in either park. So with that being said, I thought we did a pretty good job of all the parks. Any lasting thoughts about the trip?
I'm so glad we finally went. I mean, we've been planning this trip for years now. It's crazy to think it's already gone and we experienced it, but I'm glad we went, and I'm very excited to go back in a few years.
I am too. I have a feeling we'll go back sooner than we think.
Probably.
We say it's going to be 3 years. It's probably going to be a year and a half.
We'll probably go in like 6 months.
And it's probably not going. None of the rides are going to be completed, and we're still going to go anyway.
Yeah, we'll still go.
I guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you have any other questions about Disneyland that we did not answer or did not talk about on the video, please just ask us in the comments. We'll literally respond to every single one of them. We'll answer your questions and get into the hidden stuff. I can give you some extra insights on what we truly thought of each individual menu item, like what we maybe would have gotten instead. I know there were some snacks we wanted to get that we didn't get, so you could always ask us about more snacks. But other than that, that's probably where our journey ends here tonight. So with that being said, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about our little video here, and we'll hope to see you real soon.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.